Yo. It's very good that someone even mentioned this. I want to talk about Iheanacho. Very good that someone mentioned it. I want to talk about Iheanacho because this is a guy who I thought would retire in the flipping brick academy, man. Thank you, Mr. Axel, for actually mentioning that. Yes, I want that. I know Leicester City are still not in the title race. No. Let's see where they are in February. Then we'll see. Let's see where they are in February. So, guys, welcome to the Football Dugout, man. It's your man here, HH, your boy HH. You got your boy Nixon here. You got your boy Devil in here. Coming at you for another beautiful thing. Why do you care about the Ballon d'Or? You sad people. You sad people. But all I hope is that Cristiano is actually in that ceremony. That's what I hope. Bro, you can't just turn up whenever you win. Sometimes you lose. So, yes, sip that bloody water, man. So, the Twitter poll out there is very simple. Go to the Half Hopes page for the Twitter poll. Who do you think should win the Ballon d'Or? Who do you think should be the Ballon d'Or winner? Go right down to the page and then we will now see the results upon that. So hopefully, by the time we get there, I believe if the timing is right, we will actually know the winner. So hopefully we'll actually find out the winner of this whole damn thing live right now on the show. So basically, we're going to talk about the title race. We're going to talk about Serie A, Bundesliga. Talk about Arsenal's managers, your boy Freddie Ljungberg. I will also going to now go deep into Euro 2020. I also want to ask, which clown decided to make the Euro 2020 draw without us knowing the playoff winners? So, France, Portugal, France, and path A/D, Q, wow, asterisk play. I mean, what? And you do it on a Saturday when the games are being played. So it's like, let me pause this Bayern Leverkusen game to go to Romania in flipping Bucharest to see what they're doing. Flop. So, but first look, so shout out to your boy Nix. Nix, what up?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously, winter is here, innit? It's a bit chilly these days, isn't it? But gotta get on with life, innit?
No, we don't. No, bring the song. Why do we have to get on with life? Bring the song.
I wish I could. I tried to get out.
Or you go to the sun. That's what I'm doing. Yep. Within the next week or so, I'll be in Australia. Gone. Clear.
Yeah. Lucky man. So
don't mean you can run away from Arsenal's problems,
So yeah. So Dev, what about you? So Dev, what's up? What
I'm
going
good.
down now?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm repping another NFL team. Cleveland Browns. Shout out OD. I'm done with football. I'm just doing this because I'm contractually obliged to do so. So otherwise, I'll be talking NFL, to be honest, because I'm done with football. We got Freddie in, but that first team selection was a bit. Anyway, we'll get into that. But I was not happy. Let's just put it that way.
Look, Frederick. Call him by his real name, Frederick. He ain't it. So let's start off first with our first topic right now. They don't want to go away. They refuse to go away. Every time I keep saying that they're irrelevant, hype beast, hype team, they keep winning. If it's to a point where your boy Iheanacho, who I thought was finished, comes up with an A and a G, maybe something special is happening. And even if they fall off, the fact that we've come to November right now, and Leicester City are still somewhat keeping up to pace with Liverpool, I think is very impressive. Now, here's just my take here. They're not in the title race. They're not. Because people just want to get hyped up and excited. They will not last towards Liverpool. Because let me tell you this right now. I'm still sticking with Man City. If Leicester City end up winning that title come May, Liverpool should be banned from the Premier League. 100%. So if you're going to forego your lead and you somehow allow and Leicester City to win, a team who are inferior to a team that had Kante and Mahrez, then you're a bunch of losers. Then I have no time for you. You're a waste of my time. You're a waste of everybody's time. So let me come first with Devil on this. Realistically speaking, not fake or anything. Let's just get real. Like no time for jokes or anything. Let's just be serious right now. Are Leicester City seriously in this title race? Are they really going to last with Liverpool all the way to the end of the season? Realistically speaking,
no, they're not. And I said, and I've continued to say, this title race is done. It was done from the moment Laporte got injured. It was done and dusted. It is still done and dusted. Leicester right now, what we have to remember is what their goal was at the beginning of the season. Their goal at the beginning of the season was to break into the top 6, possibly push for top 4. And at the moment where they are, I think they have a 12-point cushion over Spurs, who are 5th. So that is what they'll be looking at. I think Brendan Rodgers will tell the players just game by game, but he'll know full well that they ain't got a chance in hell of catching up to Liverpool over the course of the season. There will be a blip for Leicester. I know people said before when they won the league, they won't slip up. They will slip up, and they managed to get themselves over the line. But they were in the lead for a long time. Throughout the whole thing, they were in the lead. They didn't have to chase.
But ain't that a bigger pressure being in the lead?
I mean, it depends. It depends on who you're chasing. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're a couple points behind, let's say, for example, in some weird world, we were top, and Leicester were a couple points behind us, they would know that we're going to slip up. So let's just take advantage of that slip up. But Liverpool ain't going to slip up, not to the point of 8 points. They're not going to do that. It's not Man City chasing them down. Do you understand what I mean? They don't have to look at Man City's results and know Man City are going to win every game. Leicester are doing that at the moment. But let's see when they have to play against your Liverpools or your Chelsea's or your Spurs or whoever. Do you know what I mean? And then it might be a different ball game. But Leicester will be looking to get into the Champions League, and they're in a great position to do so. And that will be a massive achievement for Leicester Football Club. Let's not get that twisted. But Liverpool won the league.
Nick's Leicester City, are they going to outlast? Can they push Liverpool all the way till the end of the season, or will they drop off? Overrated?
Well, I tell you, listen, that December 26th game all of a sudden becomes like a big game, so to speak.
What is that, Leicester Liverpool?
Yeah, or at least a game that their eyes are going to be on. Whether you want to say title race done or title race, it's still on. At the start of the season, nobody looked at that fixture and said, yeah. The most they might have said is, Brendan Rodgers returns. But if let's say, for example, 8 points, and Leicester beat Liverpool, the first team to beat them this season, 5 points. Liverpool packed December, away at just come back from the Club World Cup, etc. People will be looking at things a little bit different. Will Liverpool get will they get nervous? Because I know it's only Leicester, and it's not Man City. You're not going to say, they're going to go on a 14-game winning run. But for Liverpool, it's a case of we've been there before. We've had this lead before. This team itself from last season, Liverpool as a club, this will be the third time that they're leading at Christmas or at the start of the new year, whatever it may be, and them having to be chased down. So that in itself can create some pressure. But got to be realistic, innit? Got to be realistic. Leicester if anyone is in the title race, it's Leicester. Ahead of Man City, ahead of Chelsea, and anyone else that wants to stake a claim for it. But realistically, as Devo said, and as I've said in the past, from the moment Liverpool went 8 points clear, I think that was October, and then it reduced to 5, and it went back to 8. But the moment they went 8, I said it's done, and nothing's changed.
So, but look, man, I think we definitely have to give a shout out to what Rodgers is doing for Leicester City. I think it is flipping amazing. I said, look, if Rodgers is going to turn Iheanacho into a guy who actually knows how to play the sport, bro, props to you right now, But I just feel that you need a squad and you need a really strong team. And I just feel that Leicester City, I can't see this lasting the entirety of the season. And I do feel that maybe in the December or February, they can drop off. It's basically them, put it this way. If they were to win the league this season, it would surpass what they did with Kante and Mahrez. It would be an iconic achievement.
I mean, that was iconic anyway, 5,000 to 1. But I think it would be a greater achievement, yes.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I hope, are you gonna, you made a tweet on, was it Saturday, Sunday they played. And you're very premature in that tweet. Do you regret
what
it?
I said? You
said something along, you guys actually believe this in the title race, and you were laughing. And this was obviously when it was, I think, either 1-0 or 1-1. Your homeboy kind of shut you up.
But I still stand by that tweet.
I at the start of the match. You tweeted it at a specific moment because you
I
thought
think
it was going to drop points.
Yeah.
Sergio, check the time. The timing wasn't right. I stand by that tweet. Anybody who realistically believes that Leicester City are the title race, you're a clown. You're a clown. You know, you're a complete clown. Like they're not in it. Like no. Like what? It's cute. What they're doing is just the main aim is Man City. Those are the guys you should be looking at because my lord, what the hell? Like
What's the points difference between Leicester and Man City right now?
3 points.
Is it 3 points?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
I believe. Unless I'm wrong, I believe. Unless somebody in the live chat can.
Yeah,
you're
right.
3 points.
You're right. You're right.
3
Yeah,
points.
yeah.
So it's 8 points between Leicester and Liverpool, 11 points between Man City and Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
11. I mean, guys,
no chance. Has anyone ever pulled back 11-point gap? I don't care.
Didn't Man United do it?
10 points. I think that was 10 points.
Newcastle, but we had games in hand.
Yeah.
Same games played. I don't know if anyone's actually pulled back.
Yeah.
That kind of gap.
Well,
yes, Rodney, Chelsea is still in it. Relax. Chelsea is still in it mathematically. Maths. You do maths, okay?
Mathematically, I'm sure there's a lot of teams still in it.
You lost.
No. I'm not. I'm talking about my own calculator that I use.
Pellegrini's West Ham.
What?
You lost to Pellegrini's West Ham. You're not in any race.
Knicks, relax. It's called a season. Relax, okay?
Mourinho,
what if Chelsea get into the Champions League?
Coming for you, have hope. Not Chelsea.
Relax. Can we move on? We have a show to do. Can I move to? Thank you. Arsenal. So Frederick isn't the right one. So I think we have to definitely come. I want to come first with Nick. So I'm sure Deval has a lot to say about this, but this is what I always say: when you're a new manager, especially when it's your first game, make it easy on yourself. Put players in their strongest positions. I want to ask Frederick. I want to say to you, Frederick. I don't know how you say this in Swedish, like Buntag, Luntag, Funtag. I don't know how that is in Swedish or something.
That's not Swedish.
I'll just say, like, look, I'll say that. Lassen, Svensson, Lassen. Why would you put your best prominent goal scorer on the wing? Lacazette is not a prolific goal scorer. Okay, maybe he scored like a G in the previous game or something, but it's not. So once you do that, I'm like, why? Why would you do that? That makes no sense. So coming to you, Knicks, right now, if you're Arsenal, which manager are you looking at to try and take them into a much more prominent future after Unai Emery obviously got his very handsome severance? Wait, how do you get paid hundreds of thousands for being crap? I don't know. That's what me. How do you get paid hundreds of thousands for being a brick? That's crazy. But Nick, which manager do you think should come in now that can realistically be an improvement for Arsenal?
Honestly, I could probably name 5 or 10 managers who'd be an improvement because Emery was doing that bad. Like, I'm not saying they'll be the right people for Arsenal, but in terms of being an improvement, this is probably, in terms of following in someone's footsteps, any manager after is going to love it because it's like, well, I only have to do better than what the guy did before. But obviously, the expectations for Arsenal are not just to do better than what Emery did. They have their own expectations. It's a tough one for me, not being an Arsenal fan, because the question is, what do you want? Do you want to win? But Arsenal have always spoken about, even at the times of winnings, and they've kind of, big their chests out about playing the best football in the country. When Man United were winning title after title, Arsenal, could lay claim to a forced trophy of playing the best football. I think for me, football is both attack and defense. But everyone just likes how much you can pass the ball and pass on the ground. And Arsenal did that brilliantly season after season, even after the Highbury era, the likes of Rosicky and Haleb and Fabregas, they were scoring great goals, those team goals. But so the question is, what do Arsenal want? Because in the past, managers like Simeone we mentioned, but half the fan base would be like, he will get us, solid and he can win. But the other half will be saying, well, he doesn't play the football the Arsenal way. So it's hard for me to answer because I said I'm not an Arsenal fan. If Arsenal want a winner, you have to be looking at the likes of Allegri, Ancelotti.
Allegri.
Yes.
Because he won a one-team league. Because he won a one-team league.
Let him land.
Allegri, Ancelotti, and arguably, if I think it's been very difficult to price him out. But a Simeone. But if you want good football, the philosophy, development of youth, and then as a prerequisite before the winning, then you're going to look at the likes of Ten Hag, Nagelsmann, Pochettino, for example, who don't have a proven track record of winning, but you hope that the philosophy implemented with the players and the quality that you got can get you to that space. So the question really is, what do Arsenal want?
Well, I think Arsenal fans generally, we want to win. We want to be competitive again. We want to be at a stage where, a lot of us have been fortunate enough to see where we were battling the likes of Man United year in, year out. And we then went through, obviously, a drought. We fell off quite a lot. Some of us are realistic. Some of us are unrealistic. I think the likes of Diego Simeone and things like that might be slightly out of our reach. I think, why would Diego Simeone go from Atletico Madrid to an Arsenal? Surely he'd want to take a step up. You're talking.
He's peaked with Atletico. They're not going to do anything.
He has. But then I think if you're looking, for me, Diego Simeone should be looking at jobs like Bayern Munich or Juventus or Barcelona or somewhere like that's a step up. I think Atletico Madrid in the position they're in right now, and where we are realistically in the way that we're run as a club, that's a step down for Diego Simeone. I think Pochettino would be a good fit. I actually think, for me, and it would be very difficult to get him away because he's doing a great job at the moment, but Brendan Rodgers would be a great transition. He knows the league. He's very good with young players. We've got great young players coming through. He's shown at Leicester that he can create a good, solid base in terms of the defence and play good attacking football at the same time.
I got a question about Brendan. I got a question.
Yeah.
Because, and it's not that I don't think he could do a good job, but is there not still question marks in the sense that he was at Liverpool, he got them as close as they did to win the title, and then it really fell apart after that, little by little, until he was actually sacked. Then he went to Celtic in a one-team, I wouldn't say one-team league, but it's really a one-team country, and won everything that he could domestically.
Same with Juventus under Allegri, but
brought that philosophy to the Champions League. So that he can stick by it, but then got absolutely battered because he wasn't willing to change. And arguably, even if he did change, Celtic were that bad anyway.
Yeah.
And now he's come to Leicester, and he hasn't even been there a year. So is it, because as I said, we don't know. Come the end of the season or next season, is it gonna, when the expectation now comes that was at Liverpool after that title challenge, the expectation that Leicester might increase after this season, has he got what it takes to say, yeah, Arsenal or a big than that?
You'd like to think that he would learn from his time at Liverpool, managing such a massive club, and learn from his time at Celtic, who again are a massive club, albeit in Scotland, but still there's immense pressure on you as a Celtic manager to win every game. Do you know what I mean? And he went undefeated in that season, albeit again it's in Scotland, but no one else has managed that as Celtic manager. Do you know? So he has got pedigree in a way, and you're seeing what he's doing now at Leicester. For me, if we're talking philosophy and a style of football that you enjoy watching, Brendan Rodgers brings you that.
Yeah,
100%. They're entertaining side. He plays good football.
Through to now.
Yeah. In terms of who's out there, Ten Hag is one I would like to see as well. I like what he's done at Ajax, but again, it's one of those things. Ajax weren't the most successful.
Come on, Ten Hag is
but he before he went there.
Flavor of the month.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, before he went there, PSV were running things. They were running things over there. Feyenoord had won a league. I think Ajax hadn't won a league for a little while before he went there, no? I might be mistaken, but he's playing a good system. But again, it comes back to Pochettino, because if we get Pochettino, Spurs fans will be pissed. And I'm all for that. That would make me happy.
All right, so let's slide things over to now Europe.
Before you go on, I just want to shout out Alisson Becker 7th, Kylian Mbappe 6th, and Mohamed Salah 5th in the Ballon.
What?
Please go.
Salah fifth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ahead of the prodigy?
Yeah, sixth. Mbappe came sixth. Champions League, innit? What can you say? Champions League. We'll get there, innit? We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Look
at his face. I think his screen's frozen.
Is his screen frozen or is he just doing that? No, his screen's frozen. He got so pissed
What
he cut off his connection.
Oh my god. So that's what I said. This thing is just garbage, man.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I just wanted to shout
We'll
out.
get to that.
Sixth out of the prodigy?
We'll get there. Oh.
All right, okay. you see, now you've now sort of like messed with my head right now, man. Okay, Serie A and Bundesliga thing. Okay, let's start first with the Bundesliga right now. I don't know what's happening with Bayern. So, very exciting game. Great game. I don't know how many of you guys tuned in. Quality game against them and Bayer Leverkusen. Hey, Nick's leaving us. He'll be back. But I think Devil, it was actually because I remember you speaking about him. You know? Oh, wait, you're from the West Indies. Is the West Indies Jamaica? No.
Jamaica.
Leon Bailey.
Also, very quickly, shout out to all of those stereotypical racist white people from my school who thought that I was Jamaican because I was black. I used to say, oh, yeah, man. Not all black people are from Jamaica. Just saying, I'm from Nigeria. And I didn't even know where Jamaica was on the map. So
I wish they were, though, but that's a story. That's
another story for another day. Bob Marley, another day. So, Leon Bailey, two fantastic, amazing goals. Superb goals. But my thing is that, and this is where it is, I hate whenever managers get blamed. I think managers get a lot of the blame. If you were just to look at that result, you'd be like, oh man, yes, Hansi Flick, you're not really up for the job, blah, blah, you're not that good. How can you lose to Bayer Leverkusen at the crib? That's if you just look at the results. If you watch the game, I can remember the last time I saw a team miss as many great chances as Bayern did. As Lewandowski was trying to break the Guinness Book World Records of how many great chances can I miss? It was crazy. These guys were missing for fun. They're missing for a flipping laugh, man. So let me come first over to Devil right now. So do you see Leverkusen keeping a hold of Leon Bailey, or is it inevitable, just like with Çalhanoğlu, Julian Brandt, that he's eventually going to leave? And for Bayern Munich, do you think that they will actually keep faith with Hansi Flick, or do you think Bayern are really looking for a replacement for him moving forward to try and secure this Bundesliga?
In terms of Leverkusen and Bailey, he had a great performance, but he was struggling to get in the team earlier in the season. He had, I think, he had a few issues towards the end of last season where he wasn't great. After his big breakout season, he wasn't very good. They had Brandt, they had Havertz, they had quite a few good attacking players last season who were getting in the team ahead of him. But he's starting to find form again. I don't know if he's going to get that big move this season or the end of the season because of what happened last season. I think maybe it would have put clubs off where the transfer speculation was starting and his form dipped quite dramatically. But Leverkusen are a selling club. That's what they are. A lot of clubs in the Bundesliga are like that. So if he does keep his form and keep a consistency, then he will get his move. I can't see him being at Leverkusen for 3-4 years, for example. In terms of Bayern Munich,
was that Havertz?
Sorry?
Who was that?
That's Bailey.
Oh, Bailey.
Havertz is gone. He'll be at Bayern next season.
Okay.
It's a given. He'll be there. I think in terms of Bayern Munich and the managerial situation, I think they're waiting on Pochettino. I think because Pochettino's gone on a bit of a holiday. He said he wanted to have a break. I think he's gone 10 days back to Argentina, but he's had some very interesting offers. Apparently, that's the noise that's been coming out today. So that could be Arsenal, as in interesting. That's what he's trying to allude to. But I imagine it's Bayern Munich. I think the timing of it is perfect.
You know,
I could see Pochettino at Bayern.
You know, I read about this Pochettino is that
apparently.
So when they announced that he was sacked, basically, that him and his coaching staff have been relieved of their duties, so they were still under contract at Spurs. So any club that actually wants them still has to negotiate a buyout fee with Daniel Levy.
Yeah, Levy is a gangster.
If Arsenal or United or I don't know, let's say someone whoever wanted them, like this season, is he gonna let Pochettino go to Man United or Arsenal.
But you can't. So technically, he's on gardening leave. He's not
Basically,
actually
that's what it
sacked.
seems like. That's what it's basically without the term being gardening.
Nah, Levy can't do that.
It's
Levy,
like two managers basically. He's got Pochettino.
Levy's a mobster.
and he's
Bro.
got
He's a
Mourinho.
mobster.
Wait, so it's like he hasn't fully sacked Poch?
Basically, like the term was they've been relieved of their duty. So it means you just don't manage. You're not the head coach anymore.
Yeah.
You're still on our books. So
Yeah.
that's what
Levy's gangster.
literally
Levy's
just fucking when I was reading it.
All right, so Nick, what do you think about this whole thing? Do you think they can keep hold of Leon Bailey and Bayern Munich? Should they have faith in Hansi Flick? Poch ended that great, man. He ended that great. You flopped that Champions League final. I will not forget that ever. You flopped.
Leon Bailey. I think he needs to move. By the end of the season. So he can play the rest of the season at Leverkusen, but I think he needs to move because he's got a lot. He got a lot of talent, and I don't think Bayer Leverkusen they're not the team they used to be back in 2000, 2001 with
Ballack.
Ballack and them man there. Like they're not a team anymore. So yeah, you can get games and you can improve it, but there's a ceiling when you're playing for a team of that level. When you're surrounded by players of a certain level, for him to go to the next stage, and as a Jamaican, hopefully take us to a Gold Cup and even maybe bigger to as in qualify for the World Cup. We want him to be playing at a higher level. And I say a higher level. Bundesliga is a very high level, but when you are a star player, I just think like imagine we have.
But this is the thing. He's not necessarily their star player.
For Jamaica,
he's only I mean for Leverkusen.
I meant for Jamaica.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so we want him to be at his peak, playing at his highest possible level. There was talk in the past of Chelsea, I believe. Not obviously the summer just gone. The one before was the last year, and I believe there was another. But obviously Bayern Munich. I mean, anyone with any kind of quality is linked to Bayern Munich as long as they're playing the Bundesliga already. But I could see the way that Bayern Munich just pick off the best players in Bundesliga. I could easily see him at Bayern Munich, especially if someone like Poch was to go, because we know that he likes to work with young players and develop them, and etc. etc. And Perisic, for example, ain't gonna be there for ages. He's already 30.
Yeah. Well,
someone like Bailey, I think he could improve and do well at Bayern Munich.
All right. So let's just hit this super chat here. Julian N, thank you for the £5 super chat, bro. Says, half of Leon Bailey is going to replace Sancho at Borussia Dortmund. We always seem to go for Leverkusen players in the past. So do you see, if let's say Sancho moves and he leaves, he's leaving in January, relax, it's not happening. Let's say Sancho leaves, do you see, so two questions now. Do you see Dortmund getting Leon Bailey? Should Leon Bailey go to Dortmund? So I'll come first with Nick. So those are two questions. Do you see Leverkusen getting Leon Bailey? If you're advising Leon Bailey, would you advise him to go to Dortmund?
Well, if it's in terms of replacement for Sancho, then obviously they're going to have money because Sancho's going to be, around 100 million. So they're going to have that money to spend. And if they were to offer, let's say even half, and I think that would be too much. But if they were to offer half of that value for Bailey, Leverkusen can't turn that down. For him, it's regular Champions League football. I can see that happening. Yeah, I don't see any real stumbling blocks if Dortmund were to want him.
And also, Dortmund needed a finisher because Alcacer is they needed a cold-blooded finisher, which is what Leon Bailey is. But then, if you're advising, would you advise him to go to Dortmund then, or to wait for a Barcelona or a Liverpool or a Chelsea?
Because put it like this: if you got, there's no limit on the amount of times you can move. Obviously, I'm not going to use it as a comparison, but you look at someone like Ronaldo, R9, where he was in one season here, then he one season there. Because when you're good, if you're good enough, then the next team's going to come. If he bangs for Dortmund, Bayern Munich will be knocking. Bayern Munich don't care that you've only been there a year. They're going to be knocking. Barcelona are going to be knocking if you're that good. So the fact that you're going to be playing at Champions League level consistently, providing Dortmund actually qualify, because it's looking very tight at the top of the Bundesliga, I think it's not an option for me that you can really turn down from Bayer Leverkusen to Dortmund.
All right, Dev?
Yeah, I think that move would make sense. I think it is a step up from Leverkusen. They have previous in improving players, especially attacking players at Dortmund. So you'd be in good shape in that regard, in improving as a footballer. It would be a good fit if Sancho went, because Leon Bailey is a flair player. He's an exciting player, could do things from out of nothing. He's a dangerous player, could score from many different areas on the pitch. He could dribble, he's fast. He's got a lot of benefits to his game. He might not be as effective as Sancho on a consistent basis, but it's in his locker. And if you can unlock that and get that every week, then you've got a hell of a player on your hands. So I think Dortmund would be happy to have a player like Leon Bailey.
Okay.
Great. Absolute disgrace.
What?
Lionel Messi.
Oh, he did it. So I think they say who won Ballon d'Or. I believe.
Yes.
Well, let me just double check before we go in.
Best to ever do it, baby. Best to ever do it. Don't you ever disrespect Lionel Messi. Now, to be fair, Van Dijk could have easily won that thing, and that would have been, justifiable. But you can't just say because Messi does it every year, he can't have it. He had a tremendous year. It's an individual award. It's an individual award.
That's me.
Both are
Man United
deserving.
who hates Liverpool. Farcical.
No. Okay, but Nick, let me say this to you right now. So you believe that Van Dijk deserves to win it over Messi for the year?
100%.
Why?
I'll tell you why.
So, okay. So in your view, because remember, your argument has to be Van Dijk was more valuable to Liverpool as an individual than Messi was.
Wait, sorry. When did you change your name to have Ballon d'Or hope? Because you're making a criteria that didn't exist. Nobody said you have to be the most valuable. Because if that's the case, Hazard should have won it. Because without him, Chelsea were absolutely useless last year. But that's not the criteria. The criteria is not how valuable you are to your club over someone else. Because we can be voting for, I don't know.
So what's the criteria? What's the criteria?
Who was the best player in the year? That's
Messi. No, but because that is still, value is still the same thing because it's
a metric, but it's not the criteria. It's not the only thing you can judge it by. However, we'll go through it. And I guess we've moved the subject a bit further forward than we first planned.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Messi had a brilliant year. Let's not get it twisted. Messi had a brilliant year. But the benchmark and the measuring stick changes every year to suit Messi. Because yes, I'm not even talking about the who wins it in the end, because that's another story. But it's about every year, people who want Messi to win change how they measure who should win. 1 year it's about goals. Messi scored the most goals this year, so he should win it. Well, apologies, Van Dijk is not a defender. Is not a striker, so he's not going to score 50 goals. Harry Kane scored 50 goals in 2018, and he won the World Cup Golden Boot. But people said, well, he's only scored penalties. It's not good enough. Ronaldo scored more goals than Modric, but he didn't win the Ballon d'Or last year. In 2015, Ronaldo scored more goals than Messi, but Messi won the Ballon d'Or. And I'm not saying it was wrong, because Messi won the Champions League in 2015. So for me, you have to match individual performance with success on the only level that you can as a footballer, which is in a team. Now, as an individual, Messi was brilliant, but so was Van Dijk. He was absolutely immense for Liverpool. And we saw the transition of Liverpool without Van Dijk to with Van Dijk. They went from an exciting attacking team, great games for the neutral, to winners. Now, I'm not saying it's Messi's fault that he's been there since 2005 or when he made his debut, but last season, Barca would have won that La Liga without Messi, because
that's where you're wrong.
Not this year.
That's where you're wrong.
Not this year. But last year, Real Madrid.
That's where you're wrong.
Trash. Where did Real Madrid finish? They weren't even second.
Everybody was beating Real Madrid last season.
Exactly. So if Messi wasn't at Barcelona, who are you going to say? Sevilla.
Atletico.
Atletico won't win either. They were terrible.
You see, Nick, see. Now, that's where you messed up.
No,
Wait. I'll tell you where you messed up. Because if you watched the La Liga games last season and you look at goals, assists, and him helping to facilitate those goals, Messi's contribution was insane.
Yes.
Like, I was making multiple videos saying that, bro, I can't remember the last time an individual had this much of a contribution to a team's attack before. I can't even remember the last time. So if you take him out of it,
team without Messi finishes behind Atletico.
Yes.
No way.
See, but this is the thing. You just said his individual contributions towards that team. You've never seen that before. But I think where we're missing out here is, for me, if you should win the Ballon d'Or, if you do your job that you're on the pitch to do better than anyone else. So in that regard, Virgil van Dijk deserved to win the Ballon d'Or, because as a defender, he took Liverpool, who as a defensive unit were a shambles, absolute shambles, and he turned them into the meanest defense in Europe. They had the most clean sheets. How many points have they dropped with him in the team over the last year?
To respond to that, just very, very, very quickly about Van Dijk, and then I'll let you speak. A lot of people will say that in the critical games, Matip was better than Van Dijk in a lot of the critical games. Liverpool fans will say a lot of those critical games in the Champions League and a lot of the games, Matip was actually better. And if we're going via the year, if we're going fully for the year, Van Dijk has actually sort of tettered off a bit during this beginning of the season. So that's just me being real. Devil Curran.
I don't agree with that. I don't think he has. I think firstly, Matip before Van Dijk was a laughing stock amongst many Liverpool fans. So where do you think the improvement came from? It's by being next to Van Dijk. And this is his influence on the team, which is what we were talking about. So if we're talking about a player's individual influence on his team, which brings success, Liverpool went and won the Champions League with Virgil van Dijk in the centre. So they got 97 points. 97 points, which should win you the league. He did his job. Do you know what I mean? I think for Van Dijk to win would have been more than justifiable, but I also think it's justifiable for Messi to win. Let me just get this quick super chat and just get something in, and I'll give it to you, Nick. So Martin Rosario super chat, it says, "Surprise! The powers that be made Laessi the Ballon d'Or." Oh, look, there's no powers that be, and look, my thing is, and from Martin, it's what Nick Devlin said. If Van Dijk won it, fully justifiable, and that's the bottom line. If Van Dijk won it, 100% he would have deserved to win it, based on just what he has done and how he had contributed as a defender. But the key thing is Messi winning it, and I think I even heard Devo actually tweet this out, which is true. We can't just say, "Oh, he wins all the time; it's unfair." No, if you're the best, you're the best, and Messi winning, there's an argument for him to win it because he's been bloody amazing.
I was being facetious. There is an argument. And to be fair, the first thing I said was like he had a brilliant year. So that's the first criteria. You have to have a good year. And he's definitely been top 2 in the year. Like that's no shadow of a doubt. It's 100% between him and Van Dijk. But for me, when both players, as Devo said, you can do is do your job. And both of them did it. I would say arguably, the levels that Van Dijk was hitting as a centre-back, Messi didn't hit that as an attacker in comparisons. Because Messi's comparing to himself. No,
Nick, what the hell?
We've seen better.
Do you watch La Liga? Did you watch any La Liga games last season?
Have we seen better Messis than what he was in 2019?
See, but we can't hold that against him.
No. I'm saying, have we seen better Messis?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
But who was the last defender to put in a year like Van Dijk did? When was that? See,
Cannavaro won it, and he didn't. No, we've never seen a defender have a year like. In my opinion, I've never seen a centre back have a year like that across all competitions.
Then what are we then? Because if he's doing it, if we haven't seen a defender like that, then what are we then judging how good Van Dijk was. Because if there hasn't been a defender to that level over a 12-month period, then he has done the centre-back job to the greatest possible level for that period alone. Messi did it to a great level, but it wasn't the greatest level that we've seen an attacker do it in that period. So if both of them are doing it to the greatest possible level, I have to then look at what did they do? What did they win? My man won the Champions League and beat Messi on the way to do it. So you talk about Snyder, for example, in 2010. We talk about Ribery in 2013. If them man deserve it, which I agree with you on those regards, Van Dijk definitely should have won it this year. Can I
ask something else as well?
Okay, sorry, Devil go.
Who came third?
Probably Ronaldo.
Was it Mane?
I don't know. I'll tell you in a second.
I think it was that to do with Cristiano. I think it was Cristiano.
So Mane came fourth.
Wow.
So yeah, it must be Ronaldo who came third.
Okay. So basically, let me just respond to the whole thing with Knicks. I have said this. I said 2 seasons ago, Messi arguably had his best season. Last season, Messi arguably had his best season because let me just put the whole calendar thing to one side when he got 91 goals in a calendar year. As far as an individual contribution to a team, you can make an argument that Messi's greatest season was last season.
Sorry.
In fact,
contribution to what?
No. Goals,
if you look
assists,
at
facilitating, and how influential you are to the team.
To what?
Because you look at the supporting cast.
Lose to Valencia and Liverpool in the Copa.
If you look at the supporting cast, look at the players he had around him last season compared to the players he had in those great seasons when he had Neymar and he had Suarez and
Xavi, Iniesta, Henry, Etso.
Exactly. Because last season it was more of just Messi had to do things.
Everything by himself because remember, this is the very key thing. It's a very key thing. Van Dijk, 100% you're amazing, but let's just be real. You were in an amazingly well-functioning team.
But they
coached by an amazing manager. Wait. Let me understand. An amazing manager who is arguably manager of the year. An amazingly well-functioning team where everything is working well. Ernesto Valverde has been getting sacked for like the last 2 years. Where this guy Coutinho, Milan. Coutinho is the biggest flop we've ever seen. 120 million of complete outer trash. Suarez, one flipping Champions League goal. One. So when you look at how crap that Barcelona team was last season and how amazing that Liverpool team was last season, you just have to now put into the fact of how much work Messi had to do for a crap Barca team. Sorry. And Van Dijk's work for a team that was far superior. So when you use the example of like, he beats Messi when they played, that's because they're in a much better team. When he's that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
2018, Liverpool conceded 38 goals in the Premier League. 2018-19, Liverpool were the best defensive side in the Premier League. So we can say they were
because of Van Dijk, because Matip didn't do anything. Robertson didn't do anything. But Dijk defended all that by himself.
I'm going to tell you why I didn't. Because the only constant throughout that season in terms of the back line was Virgil van Dijk. I think he played every game in the Premier League. Maybe since he come, but definitely in 2019. In that time, Gomez was first choice, got injured.
Lovren.
Then Lovren. We know what Lovren, and Lovren's come back like a decent defender now. And Matip, as Devo said, was a laughing stock till now. So yes, these 3 players did their job alongside Van Dijk, because before Van Dijk were there, they were a joke. Liverpool could not hold a lead. So I don't know, man.
One other thing I will say, because remember who came 7th, I believe, in the Ballon d'Or this year. Because that's another factor that you have to factor in. Alisson. So if Alisson had a good enough season to be 7th in the Ballon d'Or list, doesn't that mean that Van Dijk wasn't necessarily doing... I'm just thinking of this now. Wasn't necessarily doing his job to the best of his ability because his backup is 7th.
Does that mean that the years that Messi's won it in the past, because Xavi and Iniesta were in the top 5, he shouldn't have won it?
Well, I mean, it depends on the criteria. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm going back to.
It changes. It changes every year
Because
to suit Messi.
Oh, no, wait, let's just hit some of this other super chats right now. Because guys, we're just reacting. It's just come out. We're just reacting to the whole Ballon d'Or thing right now. So the show is getting a bit. But look, we have to react to what's happening right now. So George Lyle, super chat says, remember 2010 and Ribery got robbed too?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, no, also
13, I think it was.
2013 was Ribery.
Yes.
2010 was Snyder.
Yes.
Yeah.
2010 was
And
Snyder.
what I was hoping was that because 2010 and 2013, those were both under FIFA, and the people that voted was the captains and the managers. And for me, it skewed it because you start voting for people that you work with, people that you like, and that kind of stuff. There's not like a holistic view. When Modric won it last year, for me, it brought it back to what it was before FIFA got involved, where it wasn't about who scored the most goals. It wasn't about who had the biggest, Instagram following. It was about what you did on the pitch in the biggest moments. And 2018, no matter how many goals Ronaldo scored, or how many goals Messi scored, and even Mbappe, Modric in the Champions League and in the World Cup, he was, well, in the World Cup, he was the best player. And in the Champions League, he was very, very influential for that Real Madrid winning team. And I was happy that he won it. This year, for me, they've now gone back to, it doesn't matter what you win, which is the main thing in football. It's just about how many goals you score. I'm not saying that's all Messi did. I don't get it twisted, but Van Dijk cannot be judged on. If you judge a fish on how well his ability to climb a tree, you live his whole life thinking that it's stupid. Van Dijk can't score 50 goals, but he can keep so many clean sheets.
It's not about the goals. But Nick, see, that's what I'm trying to say to you is that I watched a lot of those La Liga games. Let's put the goals to one side.
Oh, I hear that. I do.
No. But if you put goals to one side,
look at the Barcelona squad. Compare that to Atletico. You still don't think they would have won La Liga?
No. Because no. Because see, you're looking at it on face value. If you watched the games and looked at how these guys were performing like a bunch of bombs. So if you should be, oh my gosh, Coutinho, Busquets, Piqué, Suarez, you're like, oh my gosh, this is easy. But when you actually see how they were playing under Valverde, who's obviously clueless, they just were not functioning well. So it doesn't matter who on paper is, how well do you play on the pitch? And when I was watching the games, I'm like, bro, Messi's like the only guy in this flipping attack. He's doing everything. Everything is going through him. And I was like,
look at Chelsea. Under Hazard last year, it was like Chelsea are crap without Hazard. Granted, under Sarri's stink system, which we didn't even mention when we should have done the Serie A title challenge, because Sarri stinks. Sorry, Sarri, the person, I don't know him personally.
He probably does. He smokes a lot.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, a lot.
Gone,
and the quality of the players that are there is now shining through. So I'm saying, yes, in the system where Messi is there, he does it all. But I'm saying the quality of the players there, for me, if he wasn't there, as bad as Atletico and Real Madrid were last year, I still think it would have been enough for Barca to win. The only thing they did win, because he didn't win the Champions League, he didn't win the Copa del Rey, and he got knocked out to a Neymar-less Brazil in the Copa America. Let's not forget, the season doesn't stop and start with Barcelona. What has he done internationally?
Okay. So let's get some super chats in here. So from JJ Samuel, thank you for your 610 super chats, dear sir. He says, please, how was Van Dijk more influential than, I think he says he means Mane? Please explain if you want to even use that logic.
Well, I told you, because Liverpool was scoring goals before Van Dijk, and they're still scoring goals without after Van Dijk. The only thing that's changed, which has changed them from a great, exciting attacking team to winners, is the fact that they don't concede as many goals now. And for me, Van Dijk is, I would say, 70% of that. Even before Alisson came in, you saw that change in 2018. I think he came in January, wasn't it? Yeah, isn't it?
From Young One, he says, thank you for your super chats, Mr. Young One. Says, if Messi won it this year, Cristiano should have won it last year. Those allegations rigged it last year. What allegations?
Oh, in
But you talk about the rape
allegation.
yeah.
It may well have, but but he's right because based on that same logic, my man scored the most goals, and he won the Champions League, and also got a hat trick at the World Cup, by the way.
In a group game, in a flipping group game, what did you do against Uruguay? Thank you. Give me a break, man.
Well, what did he do? In comparison, what did Messi do for Argentina this year?
Oh, no, he did nothing in that World Cup.
That's all he did.
But they neither did anything of any note in that World Cup, please. From Brian K002, where was Cristiano at the ceremony?
He ain't going if you know he ain't going to win.
Devil, let me ask you this. Okay, Devil, let me ask you this. Is it right that for Cristiano, you should only go to the ceremony if you know that you're going to win because you don't want to sit down as a loser?
No, of course it's not right. Of course it's not right. That means no one should have turned up apart from Messi and Van Dijk. Everyone else should have just stayed at home.
Ronaldo's been there every year. And he's even not been there years that he has won. So I don't know that he didn't go this year, but he was there last year and he didn't win. So
was he?
The man's busy. He's making moves. Do you know what I mean? He's got things to do.
So Armchair Critic says VVD has 3 clean sheets in the last 23 games, considered 2 against Red Star, PSG, and 3 against Barca, and wasn't the best player in the comeback. Nix is fiercely loyal to Cristiano. That's all there is to it.
But I don't
What's that got to do with Van Dijk?
I don't think we would have won it last year. I'm saying, well, let's go by the same logic. Let's not chop and let me know the logic from the outset, and it makes sense. But we can't just change from one year to the next. I love Cristiano, but there's no way he should have won this year. He shouldn't have been the top 3, and he shouldn't have won it last year, which he didn't. There's years previous to that he should have won, which he didn't, and there's years that he did win when he shouldn't. I've done videos on this. Me, I just want a consistent logic behind it. No, he was.
I think what they need to do is just create a criteria from the outset, like a point scoring system, which is fair across the positions. So if you're a defender, you get more points for a certain defensive statistic or whatever. And at the end, you put all of those in and you say, right, well, these are the highest performing players throughout the year. That's the only way you're going to do it. Otherwise, it just comes down, it's too subjective.
Actually, no, but Devil. Wait. What Devil? Wait. What Lam said here, because they asked Philip Lam, and Philip Lam said it feels biased because it is very, very hard for a defender to win it. So Lam actually said that what should happen is that there should be a defensive award, a midfielder award, an attacker award. And I think that is fair because it is far harder for a defender to really win it over an attacker. And I think even now in the world that we're living in, with what Messi is doing and what he keeps on doing year after year because he's such an alien, it is almost impossible for a defender to win it ahead of him because the fact of the matter is that people who are voting are just more attracted towards goals, assists, dribbles, and everything, rather than, okay, what is this individual doing based on his role and everything? Yeah. So that's how it should happen. Because for me, I was like, each role is different. We can't weight goals much more than tackles, interceptions. We can't weight goals more than assists, through balls and creativity. All these aspects are important to a game because if you just say, oh, all we need are attackers. Okay, defenders, don't do anything. You'll lose every single game. Okay, because you can't score the 5-6 goals you will need because you don't have the defenders doing the defensive work for you. So I think that's what should happen. And this just goes to the point of like the Ballon d'Or as a whole. That it's like, don't put too much weight to it. So I know you Messi fanboys want to use this as now as an example of, yes, he has 6 Ballon d'Ors. See, I can see Twitter right now. 6 Ballon d'Ors, he's the best in the world. Yeah. Go get a World Cup, bro. Go get a flipping Copa America, bro. Okay? If you're telling us because you wanted a 6th Ballon d'Or, you're not the GOAT, you're sad. Because Messi will tell you into your face that I will trade all those flipping Ballon d'Ors, all those ceremonies for one flipping World Cup and one flipping Copa America. And if you don't think he would, then you're mad.
Can you just bring up that chat from Nasri, please? Just scroll up a little bit. Nasri 4617. And this is my gripe. I was told Salah didn't deserve the Ballon d'Or because he didn't win a Champions League. I was told his goals and assists, breaking the records, and unprecedented performance levels in the hardest league in the world didn't matter. I could not agree more.
Hardest league
It's
in the
true.
world?
It's true.
Had this rhetoric. Yeah, he scored all his
It's
goals.
true.
Did he win? We had this rhetoric.
Yeah.
But Messi,
Spot
because he's got his fan club. You know, Salah's got his because Egyptian and Liverpool.
Egyptian icon.
They're only their banners come already. But Messi's global, and if Messi sneezes, everyone catches a cold. So Messi scores. It's the greatest thing ever. He's got a point.
He has got a point.
Same measurement is not used for everyone. That's what gets on my nerves more.
All right. So since we've just been there, we have to talk about. So this is just like our last topic here, which is obviously the main discussion topic. The Euro 2020 draw. We have to talk about the Euro 2020 draw. And I think, even if I've talked about this in the past few days, I've not talked about this with these two dudes, Nix and Devil. So we're going to just go through it group by group again and just give our people's thoughts about it. So let's just start first with Group A. Italy, Switzerland, Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales. Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales. Now, I think that Turkey are going to be one of the silent threats at these Euros. I believe they beat France in qualifying, and I think they're looking good. Switzerland, I think they're just always going to be a tough team to play, but I think that they're a team that can really do anything. And I feel that for Wales, I'm not like Wales's golden moment was that 2016 Euros. That was their true golden moment, and I think. Unless Bill can refine his fire, I think this is all about Italy and Turkey. So, Nix, how do you see this group turning out?
Yeah, Italy are going through. I'll be very, very surprised if they don't.
Can they go all the way?
You know what I would say? I don't think the teams in Europe are as strong as we've seen in past years. 20. No, what year was it? 2012 was the Balotelli year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. We got to the final against Spain. And I don't even know if anyone really expected him to get that far. So when it comes to Euros, I think there's a lot of possible shocks that can happen. I mean, Portugal winning itself was a shock, if we're being truly honest. So they could go to the final, but it all depends on, obviously the draw as well. I guess
that's what I was going to say.
We'll get on to a few of the other teams later, but I definitely expect to see them through the group, and I think they should be aiming for semis, at least, really, truly.
Yeah, I think Italy can go deep in the competition. I think they've got the talent to go deep in the competition. Again, it comes down to what happens in the other groups, because I don't know who they would face in the next round should they win the group or come runners up, for example. Turkey could upset a lot of teams if they go through the group, which I expect them to do. They've got the same manager as when they got to, they finished third in, what year was that? They finished third in at the World Cup. I can't remember, but they got the same manager as they had back then. He's come back and he's back in charge. So they're doing well. They upset France, as we said. So I think Italy and Turkey should go through that group pretty easily, to be honest.
Okay, actually, now this is interesting. So thank you for the super chats here from JJ Sam. It says, HH, please do like a super fun guest with the highest bidder to be the guest, please. I'm tired of this typing. I really want to debate Nix. In fact, Nix, I want to take you on a challenge for the Messi Van Dijk debate.
I mean, to be honest, I'm a Man United fan, innit? So as once this night is over, I'm not discussing it anymore. I got no. I'm not the leader of the Van Dijk fan club. The award is today. Discuss it tomorrow. Wake up and pray that Solskjaer can turn.
Solskjaer's gone.
No. But look, I say, look.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see in it. We'll see.
We'll see. But look, it's going to be a debate that's going to be like lasting for ages and ages, and you can go back and forth. Group B. This is all about who comes second. Belgium, Denmark, Russia, and Timu Pukki.
I think Belgium will come second.
What? Oh, okay.
See, that's just such a boring group. It's such a boring group. Do you know what I mean? I think Russia have some decent players, but they never turn up in tournaments. They're always good in the qualifiers, never turn up in tournaments. Denmark are just a methodical team that just, they've got Eriksen. and that's
Timo
about it. They
Pukki, top scorer at the
everything.
Euros.
Yeah, if he gets a goal, I'll be surprised.
What?
If he scores a single goal in this tournament, I'll be surprised.
Devil,
yes.
come on. You're sleeping on Pukki.
I'm being real. They're by far the worst team in that group, by far.
Listen, remember Iceland in 2016? Nobody expected anything from them. I don't think you can write off these teams because okay,
You can't.
look at Finland. This is their first ever major tournament. Everyone's gonna raise their game to a level that they probably don't even know they've got in them.
Thank you. This is the tournament. So every game will be like a final for them, and their fans as well.
Russia and who?
Russia, Belgium, Denmark.
Yeah.
Russia and Denmark have been here, done that, been there. They know they ain't gonna win it. Granted, Denmark won it back in the 90s, but they know they ain't gonna win it, and they know they're gonna be back in it probably the next time World Cup. Finland, this is probably their only chance ever of any kind of international exposure, let alone glory. You're saying Greece 2004. I ain't saying Finland's gonna win it, but I don't think you can just write off a team or a player like that, man.
That Greece thing was fixed, but we'll go back to that.
Fix.
That was a fix. Yeah, it's to do with the Olympics, but we'll get back to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another super chat here from Armchair Critical says, Nix, who was the best player in the Champions League in 18-19?
Probably the one that didn't win it.
Van Dijk was the best player in that Champions League.
He won it. So probably the one who didn't win it. Take your pick. I don't really care. He didn't win it. So. Give me the pick.
Group C.
I was the best player in the Champions League last year.
So obviously Group C, because these guys are such geniuses, we don't know who the bloody fourth team is, clowns. Austria, Netherlands, Ukraine, and the mystery team. Don't sleep on Ukraine. Now, I may have changed my pick because on Sunday when I did the hangouts, I said Netherlands to top of the group. But on further thoughts, the chef has something.
Never, sideways.
Never, you're sideways, bro.
Sideways.
No.
Yeah, you were like sideways, like you were like in the Matrix, you know.
I'm killing my battery. There you go.
Oh, like, I thought you were like in the Matrix like this, unless you want us to do it like this.
Vogan for
You're right. Yeah. I think Ukraine are going to top this group. I think Ukraine, like Turkey, are another outside threat. Ukraine beats Portugal. They beat Portugal and Ukraine very easily topped their qualifying group. And Netherlands are good, but I think we have to chill on Netherlands. Netherlands are going into this tournament with no striker. They don't have a flipping striker, so I really don't know what to say.
You can't
There's a bit of crackling sound. I don't know whether that's coming from you, Devil, or Nix. There's some crackling sound.
That might be me because I ain't got my headphones on anymore. I'm having to charge my phone. You're killing my battery.
Oh, okay. All right.
You think when it comes to qualifying, Portugal are a joke. Like, actually, to be honest, Portugal are usually a joke. Just, like the fact they won it in 2016 still baffles me because Portugal just don't do that. You know, they're a bit boring. They got star players, but they can never seem to gel, and they'll get to the quarters or semis max. But the fact that they finished second man Ukraine, you have to take it with a pinch of salt because some of these tournaments, Portugal have to go through qualifiers to get there. So I wouldn't rate Ukraine because they topped the group with Portugal. I think Portugal, when it comes to the tournament, it's going to be a different level. But I guess we don't know who the team is, the playoff winner. It could be Romania or something along those lines.
These clowns did this bloody draw before we knew the damn team.
But I expect Van Dijk to show why he's the best player in the world and lead them.
Okay, so this whole thing because people don't want to let this go. So from Carol Nishni, £10 super chat. Thank you, bro. Messi, winner of 2019 Ballon d'Or. Well done. Having a shameful Copa America, humiliating defeat in the Champions League semi-final after being 3-0 up, losing Barca favorites trophies, Copa del Rey final. Well done. Now,
wow.
Well,
people are really upset about this Messi thing, isn't it?
Yeah, no. Let me just respond to that whole thing.
Wow.
Wait. Let me bring it back up. Shameful Copa America. I wouldn't call it shameful. It's just that yet again you didn't do it for Argentina.
So he got sent off.
Okay, yeah, but how's that shameful? It is what it is. Look, man, you have sometimes you've got to be a thug. Sometimes you've got to be a thug in these streets, man. Come on, man. Humiliating defeat in the Champions League semi-final. what did Messi do in the first leg?
Not enough.
Mm-hmm.
He scored 2 Gs.
Not enough. He needed to get more.
2 Gs.
Well, they didn't get. Well, he's got a point. They didn't go through.
No, but let's look.
He didn't do enough for them to go through. He's got a point.
Let's look at the entirety.
Go on.
First leg, he scored 2 Gs. A free kick from flipping Neptune. Second leg, he sets up that clown. What was it? That clown, either Suarez or Coutinho or that dude. Set them up with a good ball. It didn't happen. But also, people will also miss that. Who had the iconic critical block on, I think it was Messi in the first half to stop him from scoring? Matip. Not Van Dijk. Matip had the critical block. Yes. Look to the skies. Look to the bloody skies.
Action, of course, by the way.
So, you know what's weird about this? It seems like Have Hope is on some sort of Matip should be Ballon d'Or train. He's going off on his own tangent.
Matip, I
just want to be different.
Wait, Devlok. I fully appreciate the contribution Homeboy made to the team that Van Dijk made towards Matip and how he helped improve Matip and everything. But let's not say that Van Dijk was the sole defender that helped Liverpool through and he defended against anybody by himself. No, he was important, but in the critical games, give your boy Matip some praise. In the critical game, Matip made the key defensive block.
That's fair enough.
Matip did well.
Right. Can we move on to Group D before my phone dies?
Okay, Group D before thinking. Croatia, Czech Republic, England, and one of the playoff draw teams.
See, this is what annoys me about this, because England had Czech Republic in the qualifiers. Why are they playing Czech Republic again? We've seen this.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing.
But then you got teams like wait, who's got Czech Republic again?
So
England had Czech Republic in the qualifiers,
and Belgium have Russia.
Yes, same.
Yeah, and I know Belgium were complaining about that. The way they do.
It's the same. It makes no sense.
What's your thoughts on how the Euros is? Because it's split across the whole of Europe. Now I like that kind of. People are very no, it needs to be in one country, but it's a bit different. You know, I don't have to travel to see the Euros.
I think, but it's like, if you're going to do it, because remember, not every country gets a chance to host. So I think it's only Italy, England, Netherlands. I mean, do France have one? Do Belgium have one?
Spain have one.
Do Belgium have one?
10 countries or something. It's a lot, because even Azerbaijan are hosting games.
In Baku,
There's like 10 to 12 countries.
Dublin, Ireland, Scotland's hosting.
Glasgow.
Belgium are not, because they didn't build a stadium. If they built a stadium, they would have been hosting one, and they would have had basically a different group. So they play themselves, but I think it's good. I think it's good in a way. It depends on the traveling, because there's no point in England, for example, playing games in Russia if they're going to be playing. Do you know what I mean? There's no point in them traveling all the way across there to play a game and then come back. That'll make no sense. Scotland or something like that.
Yeah, so it should be.
So are you guys saying England top the group, Croatia top the group?
England top the group. Croatia are not the same team anymore.
Well, listen, what I'm going to say is that the winner of the group plays the runner-up.
Yeah, group of death.
So you might get a case of like England at 2018 World Cup, where they play a second-string team against Belgium in the last game, so they get an easier path. So I don't know exactly when England are playing Croatia, but you might see some kind of manipulation of the results, so to speak, to try and get an easier path.
All right, let's look at Group E. Poland, Spain, Sweden, and a playoff team. Spain are not as strong as they once was, but you would think that they should be the strongest team in this group.
Yes.
But quarters max.
Poland have been very good in the qualifiers. They've had very good record. But yes,
Spain, at major tournaments, Poland and Lewandowski are a joke. They're absolute joke.
Yeah.
That's the big
one. Okay. And the big one, Group F. How this came about, I have no idea. But let me just say, so France, Germany, Portugal, and a playoff team. Let me just be fair with you. You know, there's a picture of the manager's reactions towards when this draw was made. Didier Deschamps had one of the biggest smiles I've ever. It's one of those smiles that you have after either a great orgasm or when you receive your favorite Christmas present. That's how big his smile was. Joachim Löw,
same thing.
So Joachim Löw looked like he was about to get put into prison for 25 total life.
I noticed that.
So put one and one together. Germany are not making it out of this group.
Well, this is it. This is what I thought, and then Neeks educated me and said that you could still go. 3 teams can go through the group.
Yeah, 3 teams. I said they're coming fourth. They're coming fourth.
No, well, I imagine whichever playoff team comes out, goes into that group, they're pissed. They ain't got a chance in hell. They ain't got a chance in hell. They're just going to make up the numbers. What I'll do is I'll just send people who have applied to be a part of the squad, like a charitable thing. So I wouldn't even take players. I'd just be like, you guys come and have a holiday with us.
Devil, why? What makes you think that whatever playoff team comes through can't beat Germany? Under Yogi Love. Remember, the key thing is that I'm not disrespecting Germany. Germany have quality teams. Yogi Love is a scholarship brick. He's crap. So it's like...
I'd be very surprised if Germany don't come out of it. Like,
so who comes... Okay, I mean, before Devil's battery goes away from us. So who comes first? Who comes second?
France first, Portugal second, Germany third.
Yeah, I'd agree. I actually think
Portugal top.
You might get 3 teams on 5 points. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if those are winning 2 draws. Yeah, they all beat the other team and they could draw with each other. But I think all 3 will go through. So that's the main important thing for them. Okay, guys, that is all we have. Again, this was obviously one that was run through from the whole Ballon d'Or thing. Nick's obviously is Van Dijk's long lost cousin or something. So obviously, I'm sure your long lost cousin will give a shout out to your love. But yeah, man, remember to like the video, remember to share the video. Remember, if you want to follow Nix and Devil on Twitter, the link is in the description box below. Give them both a follow. Raise up their Twitter followers, man. If you want to debate Nix, right, and you want to just say that he's a clown, or want to say Devil's a clown, or you want to get a free trip to Australia with Devil, click in the box below to follow them on Twitter. Guys, it's been swell. It's been good. We'll see you guys next week. Peace. Peace out. We're out.